Hello again, everyone. This is Chris Sciria. That's Robert Harding. This is another special edition of the Citizens Punt, Pass, and Chat podcast, Pick 6 Conference Championship Game selections.
Boom! I was waiting for the last word.
I kind of drew it out a little bit. Anyways,
You started off with some great confidence there.
yeah, yes.
Like you practiced.
I didn't know. Actually, I was just thinking, like, what am I going to say? Oh yeah, no, I know what I'm going to say. All right. So this week there's only 2 games to pick from. So this will be a much shorter video than recently. We used to pick 6 games, and then last week 4. But anyways, we'll get right to it. We have the AFC, the NFC Conference Championship Games. The winners going to Super Bowl 48, played in lovely New Jersey. It's not New York City. It's New Jersey. Okay, let's just be honest.
Who doesn't want to be in New Jersey in February?
I know. Well, hopefully there'll be no delays on the George Washington Bridge, right, Governor?
Heyo.
Okay. Anyways, our first game is the AFC Championship Game being played in Denver, Colorado, and it is the host Denver Broncos against the New England Patriots, and of course everybody's making this out Brady versus Manning. Brady versus Manning. You know, there are other guys playing on these 2 teams. It's not one-on-one, okay?
We made it out to be Brady versus Manning on the podcast.
I know we did, didn't we? Well, hey, I guess we fell for it like everybody else did.
Busted.
But yeah, there's a lot of interesting factors in here. Denver's banged up on defense. Von Miller's obviously out. Harris, their top defensive back, is out too. Obviously, New England's had defensive issues all year. They've been missing a ton of guys, so they've really been banged up too. So Denver's pass defense seems to be a little suspect, possibly. But the thing is, New England ran the ball like nobody's business last week. I mean, LeGarrette Blount, there we go. It was running like the second coming of Larry Zonka. Okay, he couldn't be stopped. I mean, the Patriots actually scored 6 rushing touchdowns last week. It's amazing. They didn't need Tom Brady, really, when you think about it. Shudder to think if you're a Patriots fan. But you know, that's the thing. Is New England trying to overcome its shortcomings of Gronkowski being out for the season at tight end by running the ball more? And I think they are. And I think it's a sound strategy. It definitely worked last week. They had the ball 35 minutes last week against the Colts, okay? You're not going to lose too many football games when you're holding the ball for 35 minutes. So this game is, as I've been saying, has been a conundrum for me. I have been going back and forth. I mean, you got Peyton Manning with a chance to get to a Super Bowl maybe for the last time. There's definitely an expiration date on his career. We know he's coming to the end. Tom Brady hasn't been there in a few years either. And then Bill Belichick, I mean, this is supposedly the best coach in the game today. You wonder what tricks he has up his sleeve to win this game, okay? There's just so many factors here. And I've been going back and forth. And guess what? I'm going to let Robert pick the game first,
Ooh,
and then I'll make my pick after he makes his
interesting.
pick.
Okay.
But I already know who you're going to pick, though.
Well, yeah, because it's. I think it's been a little obvious.
Well, you picked Denver to go to the Super Bowl.
I did pick Denver to go to the Super Bowl, and I also picked Seattle in the other
Yes.
game. But yeah, since we spoiled that.
Right. Sorry, but
It's all right.
But we knew.
But I did pick Denver to win. To throw out a score prediction, I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a between these 2 offenses, and you mentioned the issues on defense for both teams. I think both teams will score in the 30s. I think it'll be a 34-31 game. Denver coming out on top. It's after seeing what the Patriots did last week, it is tough to pick against them. But I think with what the Denver Broncos have been able to do this season, they have all 4 of those receiving weapons healthy for Peyton Manning, which was pointed out last week during the broadcast of the Broncos-Chargers game, that they really haven't been together in the second half of the season because 1 or 2 of them have had injury issues. So to have those 4 guys healthy, of course, no Sean Moreno, I think Denver, it'll be a close game. It'll be a good game to start off the Sunday championship games with. But I think Denver's going to be heading to the Super Bowl. You know something? I agree with you. I'm going with Denver. Okay. And let me tell you why. No, I'm not copying you, okay? Like I said, I've been going back and forth. He's already clinched the title.
I've already clinched the title, so this is just frosting on the cake. But anyways, the thing is, Denver's playing at home. They're a very good home team. They're a very good home team for a good reason. They know how to take advantage of the elements there. I mean, it's not supposed to be really cold or anything, but that crowd's going to be really whipped up for them. They haven't hosted a conference championship game in a couple of years, more than a couple, quite a few actually. And again, I think Peyton Manning's going to be pretty motivated. And what Robert said about the receivers being healthy, I think is going to play a huge role in this. That being said, it is a 5.5 point spread, and we will pick against the spread in these two games. At least I'm going to. And I could see New England covering this spread. I could see this being a 3 or 4 point game, a 35-31 game, a 31-28 game. So I am going to pick Denver. That's it. I'm cut and dried. I'm going with the Broncos to get to the Super Bowl. But New England's going to make it a lot closer. They're going to cover the point spread. So if you are betting this game, I'm going to take New England in the points, but I would bet Denver to win the game overall. All right?
Alrighty.
So our next game, the NFC Championship game, this is the night game on Fox. This is Seattle at San Francisco.
San Francisco at Seattle.
I'm sorry, my bad. A little tongue-tied there with all the S's. And San Francisco is a 3.5 point underdog to the Seahawks. So, it's just so tough to pick San Francisco in this game because they played so well the last few weeks. They've gone on the road. They've won at Lambeau, not an easy place to win, especially in those types of conditions that they have, like 20 below zero. They won in Carolina, just a great football performance. But something, I think all that travel catches up to you after a while, going back and forth between each coast. And in Seattle, that crowd at CenturyLink Field, I mean, God knows how loud that place is going to be. It's going to be insane. And Russell Wilson, I think he's not the better quarterback. I think Colin Kaepernick is. But Seattle has the best defense, and I think their running game is a little bit better than San Francisco's. And I do like Seattle to win this game and go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, we agree on this one.
There we go. So both of them we agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're boring you this week.
Sorry. Sorry, folks.
I do disagree on one thing, and that is I believe that Russell Wilson is the better quarterback. I think Kaepernick gets more of the attention. He's obviously Wilson. He is a mobile quarterback, but he doesn't put up the big rushing totals like Kaepernick does. So Kaepernick is better in that standpoint. But I think Wilson, what he has done this season. Kaepernick's kind of he's at peaks and he's at valleys. But I think Wilson has been consistent for most of the season. He had a little lull there later in the year, but he's really put a full season together, a great season. If it wasn't for Peyton Manning, you would be talking about Russell Wilson perhaps as the MVP. But of course, we know that's pretty much sealed up this year. And I just think you have to look at the offenses are similar. The 49ers have a good power run game. Of course, Seattle with Marshawn Lynch, they have that. So there's not a lot there that separates the teams in terms of offense, but it's the defenses. 49ers defense is good, but the Seahawks defense is on another level.
I agree with you, absolutely.
And that's really, if you look back at when these two teams played earlier in the year, I believe it was a primetime game. It could have been a Sunday or Monday night game. Seattle just dominated, and a big reason why was the defense. Kaepernick couldn't solve it. And, I think in this game, at home, Seattle will have that advantage again. I don't think it'll be as bad for the 49ers as last time, but I think the Seahawks can still pull out a double-digit win in this one and go to the Super Bowl.
So, well, we've been talking Denver, Seattle Super Bowl for a long time, so we'll see if it comes to fruition. But like I said, well, that's it. I don't think there's anything else to add. This is it, short and sweet, and there will be no video next week. We will not be picking the Pro Bowl. I'm sorry, folks. No Team Dion versus Team Jerry. We're not going to pick that game. But we appreciate your support. If you've been watching, we really do. Enjoy the games this weekend. Have fun. And I guess we'll see you before the Super Bowl, folks. Take care.